Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to demonstrate our first packet tracer activity regarding configuration of Ether channel. Here we will be given a topology. Let us start configuring Ether channels using both the protocols, which is PAGP and LACP. The packet tracer activity that we are going to try today is the PT 6.2.4. So please download it and open it so that we can work on it. This is the topology that we are given. There are 4 objectives for this PT activity. The part 1 is configure basic switch settings, configure an Ether channel with Cisco PAGP protocol, configure an 802.3 AD LACP Ether channel, and configure a redundant Ether channel link. Okay, so there has been a background given, and you're also given a port channel table. So there are 3 channel groups, 1, 2, 3, and you can see in the topology diagram also there are 3 switches, S1, S2, and S3. And there are some links which connect these 3 switches, and here you can see it is written there. This Ether channel is actually created by LACP and it is 2, and port channel 1 is the link between S1 and S3, which is created by PAGP, and port channel 3 is to be created via LACP active and passive mode. Okay, so this is how we are going to work it out. Now let me start from the basics from step 1, part 1, as we usually do. So what does part 1 say? It says assign each switch a host name according to the topology diagram. Okay, the first things first. So let me click on S1. Just announce this CLI, enter. So there are no host names set on this. So enable configuration terminal host name S1. Okay, so that's done for S1. Let me do the same thing for S2 also. Let me go to CLI and let me type in enable configuration terminal and host name. Yes, enter. Let me do that for S3. Go to CLI again, CLI command line interface, enter, enable configuration terminal, host name is S3. There you go. These 3 are done. The first step is done. Now it is asking me, before beginning the link aggregation between switches, verify the existing configuration of the ports that connect the switches to ensure the ports will successfully join the Ether channels. So commands that provide information about the state of switch ports include. There are some certain show commands here. We enlarge this so that it will be much more clearer to view. So there are some certain show commands. I'll just type them on S1 for now. You can check it out. So we need to implement show interfaces pipe include Ethernet. There you go. It is actually showing which of the ports are up and which of the ports are down, which are disabled and which are connected. You can see here. Press the enter button. There is go. There are 2 F0 by 21, F0 by 22 are active, along with Z0 by 1 and Z0 by 2 of switch S1. Okay, so let me put it down. Similarly, you can actually use the other show commands also to find out the status of these ports. Show interface status. You get this not connected. Similarly, you get the speed here also as well. Show interfaces trunk. There are no trunk set up. Okay, till now. So there it is not showing any trunk interfaces. That's regarding part 1. Now it is asking me configure all ports that are required for the Ether channels as trunk ports. Now, how do you find out which are the ports that are required for the Ether channels? Go to your port channel table. It says that for channel group 1, S1 F0 21 by 22 and S3 F0 21 by 22 are used. So in this sense, on each and every switch, all the ports, there are 4 ports which are involved on all the switches. Usually there are 4 ports. I need to mention them as trunk ports, right? So let me start with S1. Click on S1. Okay, let me click on S1. So on S1, what are the different ports I need? Let me go into the global configuration mode, and I can use the interface range command F0 by 21 to 22. So here, if you see on S1, these 2 ports are there, and once again, I also have the G0 by 1 to 2 interface on interfaces of S1 for your Ether channel preparation. So what I will do is interface range F0 by 21 to 22, and Z 0 by 1 to 2, right? Enter switch port mode trunk. That's it. I put the interfaces which are actually involved in the either channel preparation or either channel configuration into trunk ports. Now let me do the same for the remaining two switches also. Let me go to S2. I need to do the same. I need to type in the interface range command. Let's check out what are the interfaces that we need to issue the trunk command on. Z0 by 1 to 2 and F0 23 by 24. I can do the same thing as well. Interface range F0 by 23 to 24, comma Z0 by 1 to 2. Enter. And then switch port mode trunk. Here you go. I entered the commands for S2 as well. Let me check out for S3. S3, you can see here F0 by 21 to 22 and F0 by 23 to 24. So I can just need to type this interface range F0 by 21 to 24 because all of them are contiguous. You can see here 21, 22, 23, 24, all of them together. And what I can do is I can actually put it up in this mode, enter. Switch port mode trunk, enter. So what I did just now is all the ports that are involved in the ether channel configuration on all the three switches are now configured as trunks. This is what we did until now. So I am done here. Let me go to part 2. Configure an ether channel with Cisco PAGP protocol. Okay. Port aggregation protocol. Now let me go to step 1. Configure port channel 1. Okay. So port channel 1 means it is the connection between S1, the link between S1 and S3. So there are the ports regarding for PAGP are given here. So let me do that now. Now let me go to S1. The first ether channel that is created for this activity aggregates F20 0 by 21 and 0 by 22 between S1 and S3. Configure the ports on both switches as static trunk ports. We already did that. And use the show interfaces trunk command to ensure that you have an active trunk link for these two links. Okay, let me check that first. On S1, let me type this. Let me go out. Okay, show interfaces trunk. Now there you go. You can actually see all this information over here. Let me enlarge it. There you go. Show interfaces trunk. You can see here. So all the modes are on. What are the different ports are there? 21, 22, 0 by 1, 0 by 2. All these are currently in the trunking mode. It is showing clearly here. Okay. So I did them already. Now after that, on S1 and S3, add F0 by 21 and 0 by 22 ports to port channel 1 with the channel group 1 mode desirable command. Okay. Now once I put in the desirable command actively will start negotiating to form a PGA-GP link. Okay. And please remember that whenever you want to do that, the first thing you should remember is whenever you want to add this to a channel group, a group of ports to a channel group, you need to shut down them first. You need to type in, you need to power them down. And after creating the channel group, then you can type in no shutdown command. I'll show you. So now first click on S1. Okay. So now I'm trying to create the first port channel 1. So if you can see here, S1 and S2. And if you have any doubts, you can go back to the port channel table. You can see here on the port channel 1 is created between S1 and S3 using PAGP protocol. It uses the same ports on both the switches 21 to 22. So with that, let me show you how to create such a link. Okay. Now interface, once again, I can use the interface range F0 by 21 to 22. The first thing you should remember is whenever you're creating this, you need to shut down these ports first. So shut down. First, you need to stop it, and then you need to type in channel group 1 mode desirable. Okay, and after that, you need to type in no shutdown. Now this creates a port channel interface with 1. Okay, this creates an interface. This creates a port channel 1 now using this command. Similarly, we need to type these commands in on S3 also, the other end of the link. So let me go on to S3. Let me type the same link. So we come out on config interface range F0 by 21 to 22. Enter. First, you need to shut them down. Shut down channel group 1 mode desirable. When I type in the desirable mode, it will automatically actively negotiate both the links. Both the sides of the link will start negotiating using PAGP packets, and they will actively try to establish a PAGP connection. Okay, so mode desirable, and then type in no shutdown. Here you go. I typed these two things. So I created this port channel 1 on both these links. So this is what is done. You are actually seeing the same. There you go. Protocol port channel 1 is created. Okay. Now what you need to do is configure the logical interface to become a trunk by first entering the interface port channel number command. Okay. What you did until now is we created a port channel 1 on both the switches. Now for this to work, what I need to do is I need to go into interface mode, port channel 1 mode, on port channel 1, and then I have to specify this link as a trunk link. So let me do that on S1. Let me go into S1, type in. So I need to enter into that interface because it is a logical interface. I need to mention that interface port channel 1 because there is a one which we created, right? So interface port channel 1, enter, switch port mode trunk. That's it. Similarly, we need to do the same on S3 also. Interface port channel 1, enter, switch port mode trunk, enter. So this is how you make it. Now we have created a port channel interface 1 by using the channel group 1 mode desirable. I set the mode to desirable so that they both will create a PAGP channel, and after that I need to assign the switch port mode trunk command into this interface. So this is done. Now in order to check whether you have done properly or not, I need to verify the configuration. So on S1, what I need to do is I need to type in show. You can use any of the show commands to get that necessary information, but this is the best because it give you a summary. Ether channel configuration. So ether channel summary. That's what I typed in. Now, when you type this particular thing, you see all the information there. It is saying that a group 1 is created. It is currently in the upstate. S is linked to. So PO1 port channel 1, and the protocol that we are using is PAGP protocol, and the ports that are involved in creation of this ether channel are FA0 by 21 and FA0 by 22. Both are in port channels. That means both are bundled right now. Okay. So similarly, you can do the same thing on S3 also. You will get the same kind of output. Now, this is done. This is also asking, I'm showing show spanning tree. I'll show you that also, how spanning tree works. Hopefully, everybody remembers how spanning tree works to eliminate the redundant links or the loops of layer 2. So in that case, spanning tree. Okay. If you type in spanning tree, you can see that now the ports F0 by 21 and 22 are no longer visible. They are both bundled into a logical interface, which is now designated as PO1. It is given as the root port. It is given as the root port. The remaining two are given as the designated ports. Okay. So now that this is the reason why when you configure ether channel, even though STP might block one ether channel, the other keeps working. While this is working because PO1 now has 2 physical ports. Imagine if you have 3 physical ports or 4 physical ports. This shows how you can increase the bandwidth without actually creating loops or without affecting the STP protocol. Okay. So let me go on to part 3. So in part 3, it is saying that configure port channel 2. Where is port channel 2? Port channel 2 is the link between S1 and S2. Okay, I need to create a port channel 2 using LACP. So same commands are used, but except for the group, the mode. For PAGP, we entered desirable. For LACP, I will be entering active mode. That's all, nothing more than that. So let me start with S1. So let me start with S1. So configure terminal on S1, interface, range, G0 by 1 to 2, enter. First, you need to shut them down, and after that, channel group. This is the second one. So to mode active, because I am creating an LACP protocol. That is the reason I gave it as active. Okay, so active, and then no shutdown. After doing that, I need to specify this particular interface as trunk. So interface port panel to enter switch port mode trunk. That's it on S1. Similarly, we have to configure the same thing on S2 also. Okay, so let me do the same thing on S2. Enable timed out. So configure terminal interface range Z0 by 1 to 2, because these are the two ports that are involved. You can see here, these are the two ports that are involved. Z0 by 2, enter. First, let me shut them down, and after that, channel group 2, this is the identifier, and then you need to specify the mode active, enter, no shutdown. After doing that, I need to enter into the interface port panel, enter. Then I need to give the switch port mode trunk. There you go, that is done. So now I created, you can actually use the same show commands here also. If you want, I'll show that. Show ether channel summary. I can do that. You can see it is in the upstate, and it is showing now the protocol that is being used is LACP protocol, and what are the ports that are involved in this port channel, which is 2. Similarly, there is one more left for us to do, which is the third port channel 3, which is LACP. But here you can see it is given as active passive. So let us talk about that. Now it is showing here, configure a redundant ether channel link, configure port channel 3. Now let me first start with S2, because port channel 3 is the link between S2 and S3. You can see the ports that are involved are F0 by 23 and 24. So let me click on S2. Okay, on S2, let me go into the configuration mode, config, and then if I need to enter in interface range F0 by 23 to 24, the next step I need to do is shut down, and then it is actually asking me here, if you want to find out, it is asking me, why don't you try this? What are the different modes that are possible for us? Okay, I can do that also. I'll show you that. Channel group 3, which is because port channel 3 mode, and then a question mark. It will show me the different modes that I can use. You can see here, active mode is there, auto mode is there, desirable is there, on is there, passive mode is there. But we are trying to create a link using LACP negotiation. For that reason, what I'm going to do is, we are going to take either active or passive modes. You can see here on switch S2, add the ports F0 by 23 and 24 to port channel 3 with the command, the same channel group 3 mode passive command. Passive means it will try to create a channel only if the initiation comes from the other side. That means S2, these two ports will not create active, they will not do an active negotiation to create a port channel. Whereas if the other end tries to negotiate and tries to initiate, it will accept. So that is the reason we will first let us put it as passive. Okay, let me click on S2. Now this is what mode, where I already doing it. So let me give it as passive. Enter. And then let me put up in no shutdown. So once I do that, I need to simply go into the interface port panel 3, enter, switch port mode trunk. Okay, so this is how the same steps we are following. I'm not doing anything. So just take whatever physical ports that you want to bundle together using select them using the interface range command, and then issue the command channel group identifier and whatever mode you want to, and that is based on whether you want to implement PAGP protocol or LACP protocol. After that, once that interface is created, you go into the interface mode using interface port channel, that identifier, and after that command, you simply put them into the trunk mode. This is what we did until now. Okay. Now for this to do an active negotiation, what we need to do is, because this side I gave them as passive negotiation, I need to issue the same commands on S3, but the mode should be active. Yes, active. So let me go here. Let me issue the same commands, interface range F0 by 23 to 24, enter. Shut down first. Please don't remember shutting them down first. Panel, group, 3, mode, because on the other side it is passive. If I do passive again here, it won't work. No link will be created. So if for the link to be created, because the other end is configured in passive mode, I'm going to do it in the active mode. Enter, and then no shutdown. Then comes, let me go into the interface mode, port channel 3, the one which we just created, and then mention it as switch port mode. Okay, so this is what we did. Hopefully we completed everything. Now you can see these things. Now it is asking me to verify the port channel 3 status. Okay, I can do that as well on S3. Let us see. And show ether channel summary. There you go. I can see two things on S3. Both of them are active now. Both of them are active and up. One is using PAGP protocol, which is port channel 1 to S1, and this port channel 3 is to S2, which uses LACP protocol. You can see the which of the ports that are actually involved in this. So it's up and running. It says U. It is shown U means up. If there is a problem, if it not happen properly, you can see a D down here. Okay, we'll check that out in the troubleshooting video in my next video, which we try to troubleshoot the port channels. Okay, so it is now asking me to go to S1 again. It is we are trying to do why. So creating ether channel links does not prevent spanning tree from detecting switching loops. Yes, I know that we spoke about this. This is how spanning tree, because whenever you are creating an ether channel link, this bundled link will be, or the logical interface that you are creating will be looked as one. Rather, it will not check out all the physical interfaces that you bundle together. Now on S1, you need to type in show spanning tree active. So what is happening? There are two port channels. PO1 is the root port. PO2 is the alternate port. Okay, this is how you set it up. You see the cost, and it is in the forwarding mode, the root port, and the other one is the blocking mode. Now, if you remember clearly, the first thing in spanning tree protocol is to elect the root bridge, right? A root bridge will have all the ports in as designated ports only. You will not have any root ports on a root bridge. Remember that. Now you got this particular idea. You see the same things which are written over there. You can see the VLAN ID that is given. The priority is the default 132.769 and port 27. It's all written down here. You get all that information. Now, port channel 2 is not operative because spanning tree protocol placed some ports into blocking mode. Yes, because to prevent loops, what it did is spanning tree has blocked this particular port channel into the blocking mode. But these are the gigabit ports, and we want gigabit ports to be active rather than the fast Ethernet ports. So for that, to change the spanning tree, what we need to do is we need to make S1 as our root bridge. Okay, we need to make this as the root bridge. For that, remember the switch with the least priority, or the priority value, low priority value, will be elected as the root bridge, or you can actually set using root primary. Either to any of these two commands can be used to make S1 as the root bridge for this scenario. So let me show you how it is done. On S1, what I can do is configuration terminal to make S1 into a root bridge so that the gigabit ports will not be blocked. What I can do is spanning tree VLAN 1 root. I can actually give the primary. There are two commands here: VLAN 1 root primary command, and the other one is VLAN 1 priority command. If I set the priority as 24,576, which is lower than the earlier priority, which is 32769, obviously S1 will become a root bridge. So any of the commands can be used. I can directly set it as root primary. Now what will happen? Let me show you. So I now set it as root primary. So let me show you now what is going to happen. Show spanning tree. There you go. Both the ports are now designated ports. You can see now they are becoming to now currently it is in the listening mode. If I keep refreshing, maybe after 1 or 2 minutes, let me fast forward this a bit. Yes. Now if I type in the same command again, You can see now both have come to the forwarding mode. Now S1 has become the root bridge, and you can see now these two ports of S3 are now placed into the blocking modes. This is how spanning tree works even when you configure Ether channel. This is a very good activity where you will be able to understand the concepts that we learned in spanning tree as well as Ether channel. So you configure, we configured in both the protocols. Though we say two protocols are there for configuration of Ether channels, it's just that one word where we change it to either to mode is active or mode desirable. The other one is mode passive or mode auto. That's all. Nothing more than that. Okay, let us see. There is also another packet tracer activity on troubleshooting. So please check out that video also. I'll be making that video to troubleshoot. Configuration is easy. Troubleshooting is a little bit difficult because you need to understand and you need to verify the configurations each and every step, whether everything is done properly or not. Do check that out. So thank you very much and good luck.